Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Let's kick it off today with another round of honeypot or scam. The website GlockSwitches.com appears to sell Glock switches, or as the graphic on their homepage says, Glock Swicks. They even sell whole-ass G18s and drop-in auto sears for AR platform rifles. Obviously, auto sears and happy switch Glocks are illegal for everyone but the filthy rich. Of course, that doesn't stop Chinese companies from selling auto sears through Wish and Temu and other websites like that, but this has a very different smell to it. For one thing, it's not a pop-up listing on a sketchy retail site. It's a registered domain with its own site and customer support chat. Some of the images on the site seem to imply the products are just decorative keychains. Well, some of them do. They just laid a keychain on the corner of this one, but the text very clearly identifies the products as devices intended to convert your firearm to full auto. It even gives step-by-step installation instructions, except the steps are wildly inaccurate. That's not how you replace a selector on an AR, and Swift links don't replace your selector switch. So is this an ATF honeypot, or is it a simple scam to take your money? The biggest clues for me are found in the reviews, which mostly seem to be aimed squarely at assuaging fears that products might never actually be delivered. What do you folks think? Scam or sting? Comment below. While you're considering that, consider it would also be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Springfield Armory. Through the end of December, you can get 3 additional magazines and a range bag with select handgun purchase.
New for 2023 is the Springfield Echelon. This striker-fired polymer frame pistol features Springfield's new variable interface system for mounting multiple optic footprints and the serialized cog fire control for inserting into multiple frames. Find out more at springfield-armory.com.
And by Vault Pro, proudly manufacturing the finest American-made safes, vault doors, safe rooms, and storm shelters. When you buy from Vault Pro, your safety, security, and privacy are their only priorities. And by Primary Weapon Systems. PWS is now offering their advanced BDE suppressors in 4 caliber options: 7.62, 9mm, 22, and 5.56. These suppressors offer revolutionary sound control, all while remaining lightweight and tough. Easy to clean, easy to install, easy to maintain. These suppressors will make shooting even better than it was before. Hey, did y'all see this Control Freak propaganda video making its rounds last week? It's a powerfully emotional appeal to something. And I gotta say, it changed my mind. It's time we begin a frank national conversation about waiting periods, competency tests, and, most importantly, capacity limits for privately owned swimming pools. I mean, yeah, I get it. They want to criticize well-meaning folks for offering thoughts and prayers instead of doing something. But thoughts and prayers are a natural and healthy response after a tragedy. No one, not one single human being, has ever once suggested we should do nothing while people are dying. Well, except maybe the same kind of control freaks who are opposed to allowing qualified staff and faculty to carry if they so choose. Or the control freaks like this who are even opposed to active shooter drills, as we reported last week, or, the Uvalde police. But the rest of us normal people are absolutely eager to do something. It's just that we don't think that something ought to be sending armed agents of the state to do harm to peaceable people. And before we move on, I have to fact check this claim once again. The number one cause of unnatural death for minors is motor vehicle collision, not firearms. The only way you can massage the numbers to get the result the control freaks are looking for here is by excluding infants, including 18 to 19-year-old adults as children, and ignoring every year before and after the lockdown years, because those 2 years are the years where driving and consequently motor vehicle collisions were at a record low, while at the same time, self-unaliving and MDK were at a record high. That's important because while they want you to believe these deaths are pumped up kicks related, in reality, most firearm related deaths are self-inflicted, followed very closely by gang related. A New Mexico control freak group is posting evidence of illegal firearms transfers, and when they got called on it, they doubled down. It started when their so-called buyback was canceled, so they just went ahead and did it anyway. They admit they went to several homes, picked up guns, then destroyed them, except all they actually did was cut them in a single location with a bandsaw. To properly destroy a firearm, it needs to be torch cut through the receiver in at least 3 places. Now, I can't tell for sure from this photo, but it looks like the cut might have passed through the barrel or chamber on some of these guns, which of course would make them unregistered short barrel rifles or shotguns, even if they were cut so short that the cartridge would stick out. If you think this might be illegal, you can call 1-800-ATF-GUNS to report it. Whether or not they manufactured NFA devices, they did not properly destroy these guns, so they are still considered firearms under federal law. They also violated New Mexico statute by transferring these firearms without a background check. You can reach the New Mexico State Police at 505-325-7547.
But wait, there's more.
That's not even the best part, though. After illegally transferring these guns and defacing, but not legally destroying them, they brought these firearms to a school and posted evidence of it. Remember, these are still legally guns. Well, I mean, after the students hammered them flat, they weren't anymore, but they arrived at the school as legal firearms. So they conducted another unlawful transfer, this time on school grounds, and they provided firearms to minors, which I believe would be a whole mess of additional federal felonies violating the 1968 Gun Control Act and the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act. Here's that ATF number again, folks. Call now. Operators are standing by. The LAPD is moving to allow illegal immigrants to carry guns. Many departments are struggling to find people who want to be cops these days, so the LAPD turned to DACA recipients. People who were born outside the U.S. and came here illegally are still considered to be here unlawfully, even if they benefit from the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. And according to this rando lawyer I found on the interwebs, DACA recipients aren't supposed to even touch a firearm. But not only are they carrying guns on duty, the LAPD Board of Police Commissioners moved unanimously to allow them to carry off duty. Now, I want to note a few things here. This channel is about gun rights, not immigration issues or any other cause, and I believe all adults have the right to bear arms regardless of where they were born or where they currently reside. I mean, unless they currently reside in a mental ward or prison, of course. So don't get it twisted. I'm not here to say DACA recipients shouldn't be allowed to carry. I do want to point out, though, that these DACA cops are virtually guaranteed at some point to arrest a U.S. citizen for carrying unlawfully in California, and that's the very definition of irony. What do you folks think? And now for your moment of Zen. Hey friends, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low price of free penny? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. Oh, and don't forget to leave cigarettes and 9mm out for John McClane. I love you.